everybody, and welcome to season 2 of Aria 412's Up Close and Personal. I'm Kelly Lynch.
And I'm Desiree Soteris, the co-founders of Aria 412.
Woohoo! Today, we will be chatting about some of the things that we did over the holidays. How about you, Desiree? Did you do anything interesting? Anything fun happen?
Oh, well, the biggest news for us was that we adopted a puppy for Pepper.
What?
Yes. So our dog Pepper got a sister, and her name is Sesame. So we
Oh.
have Pepper and Sesame, and she does. She looks like a little sesame. She's adorable. She's from Ohio, and she is a Jackapoo, and that's a mix between a Jack Russell Terrier and a poodle. And she's
Oh.
something else. She is. I think she's terrorizing poor Pepper. He's doing a lot of hiding.
Oh, he'll get used to her, I'm sure.
We're excited. She's really a sweetheart. So
It's
that's
the honeymoon right now.
what did you do over the holidays?
Oh my goodness. All I did was I decided to reupholster this chair. And
Oh,
it took me a little while because I had no idea what I was doing. I only assisted in chair reupholstery. But this time I called my good friend Lisa up on the phone, who's helped us in the past with other things. And I got it done. So I'll send you a picture.
that sounds like a lot of fun, but a lot of work.
It was very frustrating.
So, Kelly, who do we have joining us today?
Oh my gosh. Today we'll have joining us the most amazing goddess of song, Demareus Cooper.
Oh my God.
Demareus, oh my gosh, being besides one of my favorite singers and human beings, has had an amazing and varied career here in Pittsburgh. So I'm gonna give you a little bio.
Okay.
Uh,
Lay it on.
yeah, Demareus Cooper was a Metropolitan Opera audition winner and has been heard as a soprano soloist with numerous American orchestras, including the Pittsburgh Symphony, the Mid-Atlantic Canton, and Wheeling Symphonies. In December 2018, she presented the first ever Demareus N. Cooper Encouragement Award at the Metropolitan National Council auditions.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. She was also incredibly moving as the Earth Mother in Pittsburgh Festival Opera's production of A Gathering of Suns. She's also on the board for Pittsburgh Festival Opera, who in the midst of this pandemic had a successful Summerfest season online, which is pretty amazing. Very cool. And Demareus, a busy recitalist, has appeared in Sam Hazo's Feather for the International Poetry Forum. She was last seen on stage in October 2018 as the narrator in Resonance Works' Pittsburgh performance of Leonard Bernstein's On the Town in concert. She's a native of Ohio, and she graduated from Duquesne University. Let's welcome in Demareus Cooper.
Demareus, welcome. It's so good to have you.
Well, it's good to be with you as well.
Well, it's so good to have you here, Demareus, and we are so excited to learn a little bit more about you. Kelly told us some when she read your bio, but I'm really curious, where you're from in Ohio and, what got you started singing?
Well, thank you for the question, actually. And one, I just want you to know you ladies are two of my absolute favorite people. I have a great deal of respect for you as musicians and just as people. You're fabulous and you're fantastic. So honored to be with you today. Yeah, thank you for the question. I was actually born in Ohio. My father is a minister, was a minister, now deceased, and comes from a line of ministers. So we moved around quite a bit. So he was originally from Pennsylvania, but moved to Ohio due to the ministry. So that's how I ended up being in Ohio, and actually from a very small town in Ohio called Chillicothe. Don't ask me to spell it. It was either Chillicothe or Bell Fountain. That much I do know. Can't remember exactly which place, but they were both very small. And I got involved in music simply because my father, because of being in the ministry, there was always a choir. So when I got old, well, actually, I have to say his mother, Mary Alice Cooper, was a musician. So she was the church pianist and had a beautiful soprano voice. Both my mother and my father sing. And everyone in his family on my father's side, all of them were also musicians. So they all sang and they actually played the piano as well, or the organ. So there was always an instrument in the house. So that's sort of like um, where I got the talent from. But the passion for it actually happened when I heard and saw Carmen Jones.
Okay.
Yes. I wanted to be a wanton woman. That was the pinnacle of success for me. Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful, got every man she wanted, and just had style, grace, jumped on tables, did all these fabulous things. So yeah, it wasn't highly encouraged when I first started. Needless to say.
Oh, that's awesome. I think Carmen is one of the reasons I sing too, but not Carmen Jones, but that's fantastic. So when I was researching you and looking for photos and recordings, because I love to hear you sing, I saw this amazing photo and blurb from the Negro Opera Company's foundation page. Demareus, can you tell me a bit more about this and what is your association with this company?
Well, I sort of came in through the back door. One of those Sundays when I was singing in the choir, Olabreeze Casson Beckham, who was an AME and an active AME, she came from a long line of ministers and active people in the AME church. She came to the Sunday service and she heard me sing and she said, "Get that child to my house for lessons." Yeah. So I actually started voice lessons with Miss Beckham, and she was an amazing singer. And her story is interesting as well. She was actually in school at the same time with Leontine Price, but she was actively involved with Madam Mary Cardwell Dawson because when Madam Dawson had her home and her company located locally here in Pittsburgh, Miss Beckham was one of the featured singers who would travel around the tri state area. So she would travel to churches in West Virginia, Ohio, and Pennsylvania to help fundraise for Madam Mary Cardwell Dawson's opera company.
My gosh.
Wow.
Yes. And the
That's
church that I was at was actually in um, near Munhall, which is where Madam Mary Cardwell Dawson first got her start. Well, her great niece was the choir director at the church where my father was the pastor. So I had the opportunity to meet Catherine Gardner, who was her great niece, if I believe correctly. She was the choir director. So that was more of a sharing of the legacy of Madam Mary Cardwell.
Wow, that's incredible. What a small world.
It is.
Are you involved with getting that house rebuilt? I mean, I saw that on the PBS special.
Ah, this is where we turn it over to the young people. So
Mhm.
I honor and respect the two young ladies who are currently right now putting together a fundraiser for the rebuilding of the Madam Mary Cardwell Dawson original home. You know Chantal Brazil,
I
Yes.
sure do.
and her partner in crime is Candace Burgess, who is working on her grad recital at Duquesne University, doing a wonderful job. And as you know, both Chantal is doing some amazing things. Just recently completed her recital at CMU, did a
Mhm.
fabulous job with her grades. And this is a young woman who is definitely on the path of success.
So Demarius,
Yeah.
what's your favorite role in opera, and what is your dream role?
My favorite role, I would say, in opera would have to be anything dealing with Verdi. Maybe, you know what? Ballo in Maschera.
Mm,
Love that.
yes.
Mhm.
And it would be either Leonora or mezzo or soprano role, and that is fabulous.
Mm.
Um, and another one, um, I have to say, after having done uh, two Porgy and Besses, it's fabulous music.
Oh,
The only thing is, you don't want to be typecast, but man, if
Mhm.
you get the opportunity to perform in any of those roles, I've done the Mariah and portions of the Serena.
mhm.
It's
Oh,
just fabulous music. Yeah.
That's great.
oh,
So
fantastic.
do you have any advice for a young singer starting up? The-
You know, I would have to say that there are many roads to success. And at the end of the day, you have to figure out one, being true to yourself. Because at the end of the day, whether you get the career you want, and then you have to really put it in your mind and be very clear and very focused about what exactly does success mean to you in the field of opera. It might be being on a major stage on a consistent basis. It might be doing local performances and achieving a level of excellence where people say, oh my gosh, you need to be whatever you decide that is your level of excellence and your level of completion. Be true to that. Do your homework. It's a business, and you need to know the business of your company because you are the company. It's
Mhm.
you.
Wow,
Very sound advice.
that's great.
Very much. Definitely.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
For what?
I'm ready.
Are you ready for the Wheel of
No,
Opera?
Yes. Woohoo!
I'm ready.
Desiree will spin the wheel, and wherever it lands on the wheel, there are various colors, and each one of those colors is going to correspond to a category. So, if it lands on green, it's going to be a question about a specific opera character. If it lands on blue, it's going to be an opera plot written as a newspaper headline. If it lands on purple, it'll be a question about a famous singer. Okay. If it lands on red, you get to spin again. If it lands
Okay.
on yellow, you choose. If it lands on orange, Desiree chooses. So, what do you think? Are you ready for the fun?
I'm ready as I'll ever be.
You're going to be great. I know it.
And ready. Here we
All
go.
right.
Yes.
Woo! It is red. So that's spin again.
Yes.
Okay.
Boy, it's traveling. Orange.
It always lands on orange.
I know, it's so random. Just don't
So,
understand it. So I get to choose.
All right. Be nice.
I'll be nice. Um, I think I will pick blue, and that is
Okay.
newspaper headlines. I just love this one. Famed actress stabs police chief, leaps to her death. Who is that?
I have to give you a backstory on this one. When I was in college and had to go to the library to listen to music, whenever I listened to Leontine Price sing Vici d'arte, it ended up being an hour. Tosca.
Brava!
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
story to boot. That's great.
excellent.
So, what are you going to sing for us then? Since you get to choose because you got the answer correct.
Well, thank you. I know that a lot of people don't know that I like a variety of styles of music. And sometimes when they hear my voice, it is a big booming voice. But I do sort of like other styles of music. So this particular piece that I'm going to sing is going to be entitled Speak Low,
Ooh.
Speak Love, Speak Often. Yes.
Take it away.
Time is so old and love so brief. Love is pure gold and time's a thief. Speak low when you speak love. Our summer's day withers away too soon, too soon. Speak love when you speak love. Our moment is swift, like ships adrift. We've swept apart too soon. Speak love, darling. Speak love. Love is a spark lost in the dark. Too soon, too soon. I feel wherever I go that tomorrow is near. Tomorrow is here and always too soon. Time is so old and love so brief. Love is pure gold and time is the thief. Will it, darling, will it? The curtain descends, everything ends too soon, too soon. I wait, oh darling, I wait. Will you speak love to me? Speak love to me and soon. Time is so old and love so brief. Love is pure gold, but time is such a thief. We're late, darling, we're late. The curtain descends, everything ends too soon, too soon. I wait, darling, I'll wait. Will you speak love to me? Speak love to me. Amor, lieber. Speak love, speak love. Speak low, speak loud, and soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic. Ah,
you.
Demareus, that was so incredible. But now, you know what? It's
What?
time for 15 seconds of shoes.
Yes,
Woo!
we love shoes.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do. Woo! 15 seconds of shoes, my favorite. And I love it because it's like one of the only times we actually get to wear our fun and funky shoes. So that was a blast. And now we get to see what Demareus's celebrity skill is.
Ah, I love prose. I love doing prose. One of the most exciting things for me was the opportunity to do the Lincoln Portrait with Edgewood Symphony. Then I had the opportunity to be the narrator for Our Town with Resonance Works. That was another amazing milestone for me because I had the opportunity to do a variety of characters. Loved it. The next piece that I'm going to do is a piece that resonated very strongly with me. A young woman, Amanda Gorman, who is the Youth Poet Laureate, 22 years old, came through as she's a dancer, beautiful woman, now has a modeling contract. But back in the day, had a serious speech impediment. Uh, to the point where she couldn't pronounce her R's. But one of the things that she enjoyed doing was poetry. So she would be up there reciting her original prose and her original poetry with speech impediment. And for me, that was so uplifting and so confidence building. So to have the opportunity to present that today is another one of those milestones where you just say to yourself, thank you, God, for the blessing. You just never know when it's going to come. So, this is going to be my recitation of Amanda Gorman's The Hill We Climb.
Oh, can't wait.
Oh my God.
That's terrific.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited. Thank you.
Okay, we're ready.
Amanda Gorman, The Hill We Climb. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what just isn't always justice. And yet, the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country in a time where a skinny Black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge a union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew. That even as we hurt, we hoped. That even as we tired, we tried. That we'll forever be tied together victorious. Not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all of the bridges we've made. That is the promise to Glade. The hill we climb, if only we dare. It's because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith, we trust. For while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption we feared at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it, we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So while we once asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be. A country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain. If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left with. Every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the golden hills of the West. We will rise from the windswept Northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked South. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover. And every nook of our nation and every corner called our country, our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, We step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is light. If only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it.
Wow.
I'm a little verklempt. That was incredible. Thank you. Thank you, Demareus.
That was really moving.
Oh my
You
God.
are welcome.
Oh man. It's just incredible to imagine all of that poetry coming out of that young woman.
Exactly. I mean, in the midst of what we're dealing with, if we look in our past, it was there in our past. It's the fact that we are living in a time that we sort of thought we would never see
Yeah.
again.
Right.
And we've got to be willing to pass it on to our young people. And we've got to be willing to be strong enough to give them the help they need.
Gosh. I mean, that is just such an incredible rendering of what she wrote to what you just said. It was just incredible. And it's extremely moving, and we really need to hear these words now so that we get the courage to do what you said, to be there and to fight and be strong.
We have to.
And don't let tyranny take over.
We can't. And the deal is, for me, it's what people believe. And that's one of those things you've got to come to it on your own. You've got to realize certain things on your own. And I thank you for the platform to recite these amazing words from this amazing young woman and just share it from older eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Oh, how do we segue? I don't know, but
If you would like to share another song with us.
Well, I sure would. And this one is actually a song that is from the 30s, I do believe, 20s, 30s. It is a song called My Forgotten Man. And it was in one of the Berkeley musicals. And it was Joan Blondell and Etta Moten.
Okay. I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah, so this is a little bluesy. This is my little Carmen kind of situation. About 2 minutes long.
Right.
fantastic. Bring it on.
Yeah.
My Forgotten Man.
Remember my forgotten man. You put a rifle in his hand. You sent him far away. You shouted, hip hooray. But look at him today. Remember my forgotten man. You had him cultivate the land. He walked behind the plow. The sweat fell from his brow. But look at him right now. And once he used to love me. I was happy then. He used to take care of me. Won't you bring him back again? 'Cause ever since the world began, a woman's got to have her man. Forgetting him, you see, means you're forgetting me, like my forgotten man.
My tribute to Edna.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes, I really love that. I have never heard that song before, so that was really
Neither.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You have to give a quick shout out to Zach, who helped me put together my recordings. Thank you, Zach.
Well, it's been such fun to hear you speak today and to hear you sing, and it's been so incredibly moving as well.
Well,
We're going to
Demareus,
spit noodles.
it has been an honor to have you here, and we want to give you a toast. Cheers to you, and thank you.
Thank you.
So, do you have anything coming up that you would like to share with us?
Actually, I'm trying to put together a concert.
Oh.
And if I can get it off the ground, I just need to learn the music, because it's a lot of more original music than, I won't say original, but hard to find and hard to get music, at least from my end. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And I'm looking forward to becoming a little more literate with this newfangled thing called Zoom.
Wonderful.
You. Thank you.
Cheers again.
Have a beautiful weekend.
You too, and we look forward to seeing you in person soon. Kelly, cheers to you. That was
cheers to you.
Show. I really enjoyed getting to learn more about Demareus. I didn't know much about her background and how she got started, so that was really exciting.
Same here, and hearing her devotion to the recitation as well, that was just so incredibly moving, and learning more about Amanda Gorman. So I had no idea she had a speech impediment and went through that whole thing. That's just such a journey. It's amazing. So what's coming up next?
Well, we have our kickoff concert for the start of our 5th season, if you can believe it. 5
I don't
seasons.
believe
I know, I can't believe it either. It's true. We will be having our next concert on March 2nd. That's the first Tuesday of March at 7 o'clock. It will be posted on our YouTube channel, REF 412 Pittsburgh. And we're really excited. We're going to have some new faces and some of our returning guests. So it's going to be a real blast, and we can't wait to get started.
Excellent. I can't believe it's been 5 years, but we're going to celebrate it with lots of fun.
Yes, we are.
Excellent.
Woo! Until next time.
Here's to you.
See you.